So, I wanted to talk about why it is important to be clear about your why. And what I mean by that is why it's important to be clear on when you're creating a change in your life, when you want to embark on a new goal, a new achievement, and you aren't quite sure why you're doing it. It happens to all of us. So I want to just talk about that a little bit because I know for me, I'm starting on a little bit of a change journey for myself, and I've already encountered I've already encountered some internal resistance within myself about certain habits that I'm trying to create to make sure this change happens. And it's the mind games, it's the ego, it's the little voice inside of your head that says, no, you don't need to do that. That's uncomfortable. No, you don't need to do that. You're tired. No, you don't have to do that. You're sore. No, you can do something else. You don't need to worry about that right now. It's that little voice who's pulling you away from that goal, from those habits, those little teeny small changes that you're trying to make to create a more fulfilling, happier, healthier, potentially, life for yourself and for your family. So these mind games, this little voice that pops up when we're trying to do better, do more, do different, is natural. It's the ego. It's the little part of us that is trying to keep us safe. It's the part of us that is potentially speaking from the past, whereby we may have had an experience similar to what we're trying to overcome. And that little voice thinks it's trying to protect us by saying, no, you're going to hurt, you're going to be sore if you do that. And I'm talking about sore because I'm talking about going to the gym and lifting weights. Because I was sore earlier, and I didn't like it. I forgot how much I did not like being sore. So when I had time to go back to the gym, I had this little voice pop in my head. And it said, you don't need to go back because you're sore, and if you go back now, you're going to be even more sore. And I thought, that's interesting. You're actually right. I will be more sore. And the reason I will be sore is because I have not been working these muscles. And because I have not been working these muscles, I need to go through this process to be sore, to activate certain things again, to work certain things again to a threshold where I no longer feel sore. So I acknowledged the voice and I didn't shut it down because it was speaking from truth. I would be sore if I went back to the gym. And we all know that feeling. We all know the, I don't want to do this. I'm tired. It's cold outside. I'd rather be doing, something completely different. But we have a choice because we made a decision about a goal that we want to achieve and a lifestyle and habits that we want to create for our lives. So we're going to hear this little voice continuously. The little voice isn't going to go away until we find a little bit of comfort in where we are. So this process of making change and working with the little voice instead of letting the little voice dictate what happens in our lives is how we get through this. It's not making the voice wrong. It's not making the voice try to go away. It's hearing the voice and letting it know that, hey, you could be valid, but this is what we're doing right now. So I wanted to share that because I know a lot of people are going through goals, they're going through resolutions, they're going through like trying to make changes, trying to get more active, trying to do so many things to better ourselves. And that little voice is going to be ever present unless we learn to acknowledge it, work with it, know that it's doing its darndest to care for us. But the caring is coming from a place of the past. It's coming from a place of potentially constriction, restriction. And if we're trying to make a healthy habit change, if we're trying to do something to expand our lives, we don't have space or time for that. So to everyone playing the mind games, trying to do their darndest to win the mind game, I see you, I hear you, and this is part of the process of change. And we get to choose whether we move forward, whether we stick with our goals, stick with our process to make these daily habits happen, or if the voice wins. But we have that choice of what happens and what to do with it.